Welcome back. It's the Flow Friday Sports Show here on Flow FM, and it's time to talk about the Gawler and District Softball Association with the president, Veg Ingram, who joins us again. Good to be with you, Veg, after what's been a couple of hot days in Adelaide and South Australia. How are you coping?
Yes, so luckily I have a pool, Ellis, so I'm coping quite well in yesterday's heat wave, but hopefully the weather will be better tomorrow for softball.
Yeah, well, I would have just jumped headfirst into the Gawler River if I were you, to be honest, Veg. But you've got a pool, so you're one of the lucky ones. Let's talk about the Giants, the men's softball side. So tell us how they got on last Friday night, Veg.
Yeah, so last Friday night, the Giants men played Hillbillies and they lost that game 15-2. Now, Hillbillies are the top team and have been for a few seasons. They have a very strong pitcher who's actually in their 60s and is still pitching very, very well. And they really dominated with the bat as well, and they really found the gaps in the outfield. So a credit to Giants, though, who really persevered and held their head up throughout that entire game. So, yeah, hopefully it'll improve for this week. So tonight they play Phantoms, so that will be a good game to watch.
No doubt, and good luck to them, Veg. So bring us in on how the regular action unfolded last weekend, Veg, in the under-14s.
Yeah, so in the under-14s, we had Trinity College Yellow playing Trinity College Red. So Trinity College Red took the lead. Trinity College Yellow struggled to find the strike zone, which resulted in Red hitting some big hits off the tee. So within our tee ball competition, Ellis, the kids, I guess, at that age are still learning to pitch strikes. So if everyone is walked, get 4 balls and they walk to first, the game can be very boring. So instead of allowing walks, once there's 4 balls on the batter, instead of them walking to first base, we get them to hit off the tee. So it keeps the fielders engaged, gives them a bit of practice. Trinity College Red had some really big hits off the tee, with Josephine Vergara dominating the Reds' pitching circle. Unfortunately, one of the Trinity Yellow players was injured at the beginning of the second innings, which means the team didn't have the required 7 players to play and had to forfeit. But instead of packing up and going home, all the kids stayed out there and their parents joined in, and they had a lot of fun playing with their parents for the rest of the game. So that was really good to see.
Yeah, I can't understand, Veg, why it's ever sort of presented as an option. It should always be a case that if a team has to forfeit, it's just automatically done and then the kids have some fun. I can't work out why sometimes there's an option given as to whether, sometimes teams might want to just see if they can get by without the prerequisite number of players. But we'll move along. Under 14s, the other game, Veg, how did that one unfold?
Yeah, so that was Kangas versus Giants. So the top of the table clash between these two teams. So Giants are currently on top of the ladder and Kangas in a close second. Giants started really strong in the first innings with Jet Donahue and Dan Barrett scoring 2 home runs off the tee and held Kangas in the field. Kangas came back in the second innings to score 4 runs to take the lead. Then 2 more home runs off the tee by Sienna Sutton and Dan Barrett allowed Giants to even the score. So this was a really exciting game. Kangas had the final at bat, and the Giants pitcher Jet Donahue struck out the first 2 batters. All they needed was 1 more out to draw the game. However, Charlie Freeman and Chelsea Varco, both hitting safe hits, put the pressure on Giants, and with some aggressive base running, Kangas took the lead to win the game 6-4. So that was a really exciting game to watch at that junior level.
Is there any prospect that Sienna Sutton might be elevated to a higher age group at any point in time soon after her recent exploits, Veg?
Yeah, so Sienna actually plays for one of the Adelaide clubs as well and has also represented South Australia in both the under-12s, under-14s and the under-16s, and she's only just turned 12 years old. So she's an amazing little player and definitely one to watch in the future. I'm hoping in a few years' time I might see her on the big screen against the Olympics. So she's great, and she has played in both seniors, but technically she's only 12, so she can play in the under-14s, but then again, she's got the talent to also play up, which she has played in those senior competitions as well.
And it's not just on the big screen in a couple of years that you'll have to hang out for, Veg. Hopefully we'll be able to get her on the Flow airwaves sometime real soon. So we'll see how that goes. Now, we'll switch our attentions to under-17s. Just bring us in on how that all went last weekend.
Yes, so the under-17s was Kangas versus Giants. So Giants started strong with the bat, scoring 5 runs in that first innings, but struggled to maintain that momentum throughout the game, scoring only a further 3 runs. Kangas really dominated each turn at bat, The final score was Kangas 14, Giants 8.
We'll move into our seniors from last week, Veg. So we had in Div 2 the Blue Jays v Giants and the Kangas versus 2 Wells. 2 games. Tell us how they went.
Yeah, so the Blue Jays versus Giants game, Giants dominated with the bat against the young Blue Jays side, scoring 17 runs over those 3 innings. Blue Jays scored 7 runs with some big hits by Rachel Bryan, but it wasn't enough to win the game, so Giants ended up taking that win 17-7. Now, the other Div 2 game was Kangas versus 2 Wells. This was a little one-sided, although 2 Wells did start very strong with the bat, scoring 2 runs, but Kangas came back, scoring 3 runs to take the lead and continued to score throughout the game, winning that one 17-2.
There we go. And in Div 1, we had Kanga Blues v Giants, and the Kangas Grey side were hosted by Blue Jays. So what results did we get from Div 1 last weekend?
Yeah, so Blue Jays had a few big hits with a monster home run hit by Tia McGregor and a triple by Emma Young. But Kangas really dominated with the bat, as they tend to do, scoring 11 runs to Blue Jays 4. So the second Div 1 game was Kangas Blue versus Giants. So Giants started strong in the first innings, scoring 2 runs and then holding Kangas in that first innings. However, Kangas came back in subsequent innings with some massive big hits and found the gaps to win the game 13-2.
All right, well, let's take a look at how things are poised for this weekend's action. Firstly, just tell us about the T-ball. I know there's a bit of an editorial that you'd like to make on this.
So, yeah, the T-ball. So this season, the T-ball kicks off at 9 o'clock in the mornings, and it's for kids aged 4 to 8 years old. T-ball's really development sport for both softball and baseball, so we co-run that competition with the Gawler Rangers Baseball Club. This season, we decided to take a slightly different approach. Rather than playing full-on T-ball games, we decided to take more of a skills-based approach because we have a lot of young ones in the competition this year. So the whole idea is really game sense. So it's all about mass participation, fun, getting the kids out there, learning the skills through little games within games, mini games. Now, this technique's been used throughout sport for many, many years, and even at the elite level, they use game sense training approaches. So we've decided to implement that this year, and it's been really successful to see the kids developing the skills through games because, as we know, that's the number one reason why kids play sport is to have fun.
No doubt about it, and we do talk a lot about that on this program. Let's take a look at how the action is all scheduled for this weekend. Veg. So in the under-14s, we've got Giants versus Trinity College Yellow, and in the other game, it's Kangas versus Trinity College Red. What are your tips?
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting game. So Giants and the under-14s are sitting on top of the ladder. So Trinity Yellow really going to need this focus on that tight defence and hitting that strike zone to try and combat those big hitters from that Giants side. The other under-14 game, the Kangas versus Trinity College Red. So Kangas are currently sitting second on the ladder, and we're taking on Trinity Red, who are sitting third on the ladder. So I reckon this will be a good contest. I'm not sure I can pick who's going to win that one. I have to watch this space, I think, for that one, Ellis.
Oh, you like sitting on the fence, Veg, don't you?
I'm a Libra, Ellis. It's part of my zodiac sign. I like sitting on the fence. I like the balance.
Oh, we all like the comfort of it. Don't worry. The under-17s is the only other game to talk about because there's no seniors action this weekend. So Giants, they host the Blue Jays. Which way do you see it going? Give us a tip, Veg.
Okay, I'll give you a tip on this one. So Giants, I think, may have the upper hand on this game based on previous games that they've played. They have some big hitters. They've got some more senior, I guess, of the older kids playing in that team. So I think they may have the upper edge on the Blue Jays side. But the Blue Jays team are improving every week. They've got some new players that are coming in that haven't really had a lot of experience and having that season after season of playing the sport, but they're improving every week. But I think Giants may have the upper hand this week, but you never know.
That we do not. What we do know, though, Veg, is that this Saturday night is going to be huge. So tomorrow evening, everyone's keen. It's finally come around, the 40-year anniversary celebrations of the association. You must be pretty pumped, Veg.
I am so excited for Saturday night. It's going to be amazing. I've been playing softball since the 80s, so it's going to be fantastic to see some old friends that maybe we haven't caught up in years. Our patron of our association, the Honourable John Dawkins, is going to be attending and presenting, and the Mayor of Gawler, Karen Redmond's also going to be attending. It's going to be fantastic to see our past and current players as well, and all our coaches. And I've actually been trying to track down some of our previous players that have gone on to, I guess, bigger and better things since playing from our quite humble association, and it's fantastic. Some of them have been playing at state and national level, some of them have been playing in the Olympic Games, and it's just fantastic to see. So really looking forward to showcasing all our amazing talent that we've come from Gawler, but just the camaraderie, and that's the real focus for our association is the friendships and the camaraderie that we've built over the years. So it's going to be a fantastic event, really looking forward to it.
And I'm looking forward to hearing how it all goes. Enjoy yourself there, Veg, and enjoy the action that comes before then tomorrow across the mounds in Gawler. Thanks so much for catching up with us. That is Veg Ingram, the president of the Gawler and District Softball Association. Veg, we'll do it all again next week. Take care.
Thank you, Ellis, and I will get you out to a softball game to come and watch some in the near future as well.